going on, everyone? Trevortheaviator here, where this morning I am at George Bush Intercontinental Airport, where it is really busy, probably the busiest I've ever seen an airport at this time in the morning. But anyways, we're going to see what the airport has to check out, and then we're going to go from there and then see what there is to offer.
Just after I arrived at the airport, after getting through security, I was greeted by a statue of President George H.W. Bush, the 41st President of the United States and Vice President of Ronald Reagan. After seeing this exhibit, I headed my way towards Terminal C. As I walk my way into Terminal C, I am pretty amazed with how this place looks. So far, of all the airports that I have been to, I gotta admit, this is probably one of the nicest airports that I have been to. They keep this place really clean, and not only that, but it seemed like a very modern airport, and it took me quite a bit of time to just soak in the place because I was very impressed with how this airport looks. Upon wandering in Terminal C, one thing I gotta admit is that there seem to be a lot of shops and restaurants in this airport, which there were a wide variety of places that they had to offer. And to give you a comparison, it kind of reminded me a lot of Denver's airport when it came to shops and restaurants, because Denver International Airport as well also had a lot of shops and restaurants. And this seems to be the case with Houston from what I have witnessed so far. So far, this is a great airport, Houston, and as I continue to go see the other terminals, I am looking forward to seeing what there is to offer. Upon entering Terminal D, I was greeted by yet another statue, but a smaller one in this terminal. This terminal overall did not feel as big as the others, but there were only 9 gates here, so it would make sense. This also was the area where I did a lot of plane spotting at, since this is where the big planes are at, being the international terminal. I personally felt there could be more in this area, but it still was a fantastic place. A lot of places here were closed, but they opened later in the day when it got busier. With all of this too was also where all the airline lounges were at as well.
With y'all, just seeing the airport so far, and to be honest, this actually is a really nice airport from what I have seen so far. Now, I've been in Terminal C and D so far at the moment, and now we're gonna go and check out what's in Terminal B and even Terminal A.
Once I began to enter Terminal A, this was definitely another nice area to be at. I was not disappointed by what I saw, and there were a lot of things to see here yet again. During this time, literally all of the restaurants were full, since during the time of this video, it was filmed when the Red River Showdown was happening between Texas and Oklahoma, in which I don't think I should get into that. But while that was happening, I saw a bunch of things, and here it felt like there were even more displays of various things as well, which I enjoyed looking around. This place definitely felt a little bit like a museum in some areas, even though we were in an airport environment. And with it having that vibe, in my opinion, it personally made me feel that the place was just that much better to be at. After seeing the displays around, I did some actual walking in the terminal area, and the walkways were pretty average, which was what I expected. Nothing too fancy around. After that, I hit another food court area, which again was also really busy as well. And it had places such as Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, Wendy's, and many more places around, which was a really nice area with everything there was to offer. I also was able to find a couple more things sprinkled around the airport as well before I decide to head my way out of Terminal A.
So we just got done exploring Terminal A and we have just entered Terminal B, so now we're gonna see what Terminal B has to offer.
With exploring Terminal B, when I first entered the place, I gotta admit, I was a little bit disappointed as it felt small and crowded, but I learned not to judge a place by the first thing you see, because as I decided to continue walking, it ended up becoming spectacular. When I went further down and did some more exploring, I was amazed with what I was witnessing. What impressed me even more was how nice this place was for a terminal that has a lot of regional jets. This area alone felt like a shopping mall, and I was very impressed. After I headed out of that area, I went and checked out the waiting areas, and man, was it big. What's even crazier I found was that in this area, you literally had a couple of bars even too, which I have not seen at an airport before, like right next to the gate. It's crazy. After all this happening, I also took a look around the center place where the boards were at, and there were even more shops around here. Of all the airports I have been to, I have not been to a place with as many shops as Houston. This entire place literally feels like a city of its own, and you could literally go on a shopping spree alone in here if you really want to. It's just insane with how many places this place has to offer. It almost feels like everywhere that I have gone here in Houston so far, the terminals just keep getting better and better as I continue to walk my way around the airport.
You really need to get a taste of Texas is Whataburger. Just have to come here if you come to Texas. A nice delicious meal from Whataburger. Man, was that burger really big. Now we're gonna head on over into Terminal E where we're gonna check out, see what they have to offer.
As I begin to enter Terminal E, I was once again amazed with how big this place was. Out of all of the terminals there are here at IAH, this one is definitely the best terminal at the airport, even though all of them were absolutely terrific. In this place, when I was looking around, I literally spent a few hours just seeing this terminal alone because there was so much that it had to offer. It was more unique, I would say, than any of the other terminals as well. And with this, it was because it offered some spectacular areas. This terminal here is where you have a lot of the bigger planes for United, where you had the international flights to places such as South America. Places include Buenos Aires, Santiago, to name you a few, and many other international places, followed by some domestic flights that have wide-body aircraft. And you also had some other smaller aircraft that were sprinkled in here and there as well. Some of these restaurants too, you see in here as well, were crazy, as you had this big smokehouse in one of the areas at the center of the terminal. And you also had some other unusual places around, which with this, I was just impressed with how many different varieties of restaurants there were. With this, it definitely is different than a typical fast food place you would see at the airport, such as like a food court at most other airports. This would definitely be the terminal you would want to go to if you can't see the entire airport, as not only is this an amazing terminal, but the architecture that you see in here as well is just a true work of art, as some of the designs that you see here are just absolutely insane. I was mind blown and thought this place was just amazing. If it is one place that I would want a layover at here in the US, it would probably be here in Houston, as not only is it a fantastic airport, but it's a very clean environment. It has a lot to offer, and if I really wanted to, I could probably spend an entire day just in this airport alone. Well, I did do that, but I never got bored or anything, and there was just so much to see. Way more than probably any other airport that I have been to. I gotta admit on that. It just made me think, wow, what an airport that this place was.
Okay, so we just got done with seeing Terminal E here at George Bush, and to be honest, at this airport, all the airports I've been to, this is probably the best airport I've been to. So, guess we've seen about everything here the place has to offer, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it and want to see more videos, then go ahead and like, comment, or subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in some more future videos. Until then, this is Trevor the Aviator from George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, Texas. Bye, everyone.